Welcome to Between the Lines with James Spady, head football coach, Alabama A&M University. 30 minutes of highlights, features, and analysis of Alabama A&M Bulldog football. Between the Lines with Coach James Spady is brought to you by Alabama A&M University, Union Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, Huntsville Hospital Sports Center, the Fellowship of Faith Church, and now with your host, Ted Dixie. Between the Lines with Coach James Spady.
Good evening and welcome to Between the Lines with James Spady. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. Coach, lots of smiles on the hill this weekend. You capped off a fine homecoming week with a Bulldog victory.
It was a great week. It was very hectic leading up to the game, so it was good to get the game in and get it out of the way, and we were glad we could bring some excitement to the hill.
The university is all clean and shiny. The George H. Hobson Fieldhouse has a new look, and the Bulldogs come out in all maroon and take it to the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. The final score, 28-9.
28-9, that sounds good. I didn't even know the score. I hadn't even seen the score. They doused me with cold water, so I was trying to recover.
A chilly end to a hot game. Beautiful day on campus. We thought the rain would hold us back, but William H. Council held off the rain for us, and we'll come back. We'll look at the first half highlights from the Bulldogs' home victory right here on Between the Lines with James Spady.
Hello, I am Pastor Troy. There are a lot of people hurting emotionally, hurting physically, hurting financially, family hurting spiritually, and there is no hurt like church hurt. If you are hurting, I got a prescription for you. Psalm 147:3 says, He healeth the broken in heart and binds up their wounds. If you are hurting, come to the Fellowship of Faith Church and experience the healing of Jesus.
The A&M Bulldogs know how to build a winning team. That's why they choose Huntsville Hospital Sports Center as their sports medicine provider. Our athletic trainers are on the sidelines with the A&M athletes, helping them stay injury-free. But when a player gets hurt, we're there to help the athlete get healthy and get back to playing. Our partnerships with the Orthopedic Center and D1 Sports make Huntsville Hospital Sports Center the only complete sports medicine program in Alabama, because the Bulldogs only use the best. Huntsville Hospital Sports Center, your sports medicine provider.
The mission of the Union Chapel Christian Academy is to provide a Christ-centered foundation in academic excellence while integrating academic disciplines with God's Word. Our educators instill leadership, strive to teach the fundamentals of reading, math, science, and technology. If you want to be a part of our Christ-centered foundation at Union Chapel Christian Academy, please contact us today, 256-489-4728.
Ariel took down enough pins to help win a conference championship. Her mechanics are just as strong in engineering. Aiden is mastering psychology on the golf course and in the classroom. No hurdles too high for Raven, on the track or in nutrition. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
I do not take the field alone. I take it with strength and speed. I take it on the shoulders of crews and stalwarts. I take it with pride, with cheering fans and revered alumni. I do not take the field alone. I take it with you.
Bulldog season tickets now starting at only $135. Visit AAMUTix.com and take your part in A&M history.
90.9 WJAB FM Huntsville.
100,000 watts, 24 hours a day.
Smooth jazz and cool vocals.
I'm just a prisoner of love.
I get misty just holding your hand.
90.9 WJAB.
From the campus of Alabama A&M University.
Brandon lights up the court every game. Soon, he'll do it as an electrical engineer. Jordan specializes in logistics and supply chain management, on and off the field. Ashley's been schooling players at the net and student teaching in the classroom. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
Welcome back to Between the Lines with James Spady. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. Coach, you talked about having a capper on homecoming, that the icing on the cake would be a Bulldog victory, and you provided that on Saturday.
Oh, I didn't provide it. I mean, our football team provided it, and our coaches provided it. And, I tell you what, I always talk about we want to honor our fan base with the way we play. I always talk about we want to go out and make sure that we uphold the legacy and traditions of Alabama A&M. And so it feels good when you win a game like this that means so much to everybody. And so we actually get to put that into play. And that's the thing that makes me so gratified about winning this football game.
The Bulldogs came out on top, 28-9. Lots of festivities, lots of good food to eat. I believe I need a visit to my doctor and check my cholesterol level for this week. Now, Coach, you were talking about how your defense was a little bit under pressure last week, trying to figure out how you could fix getting 53 points scored on you, and looks like you handled that this weekend. Well,
I mean, to hold the team to 9 points is a really good job for any defense. And Coach Johnson, Reggie Johnson, our defense coordinator, Matt Sanders and Brent Pradia, Marlon Watson, they did a fantastic job of getting our guys ready to play. They put them in position to be successful, and our kids executed. And, I'm proud of them and happy we got the W.
Two plays here, Coach. One, a fine catch by Devon Johnson out of Johnson High School. And here's Rondrick Randolph, a Madison, Alabama native, who makes a mistake, but it's an effort mistake. I'm sure you'll take that one.
Hey, he's usually pretty sure-handed. That's an enigma. I don't expect that out of him very often. And so I'm sure he felt bad about it, and I made sure he knew we weren't pleased. But, he'll come back and be fine.
And you let him come back later in the game, as we'll see Pine Bluff with their first score of the football game.
Yeah, and the fumble and the subsequent return, that was what set that touchdown up. And so, I'm still feeling pretty good about our defense. We hadn't given up anything to that point. And, the touchdown that they got was something that we created. It was an unforced error on our part, and that's what we're trying to do better at. We're trying to be better at, making the layups and not succumbing to the unforced errors.
Tevin McKenzie with a fine kickoff return. We did not know that would portend a great day for Tevin.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's one of those guys where, you look at him during the course of the week and you say there's no reason why he should dominate a game, but then every Saturday he dominates a game. And we're glad he's on our team.
Pine Bluff is able to convert another score. They'll take a 9-0 lead here on the Bulldogs, and your other kick returner makes their kick coverage team have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah, Octavius Miles, number 8, he's a fantastic prospect out of Dallas, Texas. He does a fantastic job for us, and he's still a youngster. I expect him to get better and better. But this dude keeps coming up with plays right here, number 20.
Man, Dexter Reese is a dog out there.
He's a real beast, and we're glad to have him on our team as well. But I talk about guys being fast and playing fast. Dexter Reese, just every week, he just shows up and he plays well. And he's a guy that we know we can count on.
Student athlete who is definitely a scholar on the student part and accounting major.
He is a really good student, and he's a single father, and he does a fantastic job of managing his time and taking care of the things that are important. And credit to Alabama A&M and our football team.
Now, again, Tootie Ballard at quarterback, Coach, having an outstanding day, 20 of 30 for 353 yards and 3 touchdowns.
The best thing about Tootie right now is he's starting to become the quarterback that we envisioned him for.
That's
the
scary,
pistol.
Coach. That's really scary.
Right. He's getting more and more conscientious. You see him here the last 2 plays. He's hitting the running back. That's his 3rd progression. And so he's hitting the running back after he's gone through his progression and figured it all out. And we got big plays out of it, which led to Tevin McKenzie doing his thing, which is scoring touchdowns and being that solid player that we like.
And Tevin McKenzie will make sure everyone knows where he is from and the area code to call when you're in the area.
Yeah, he's representing Mobile and the Hill.
Another fine job. Good alley there. Fine blocking by your offensive line and your receiver.
Now, that's the thing. That's what I want everybody to know, and that's a good point, Ted, because those guys don't just catch passes. Our wide receivers do a fantastic job of blocking. Coach Lilly works on that every day with that group of guys, and that was made by them in the offensive line. A very big hole, and Tevin stuck his foot in the ground, went and scored.
And Cesar Ramon Diaz on for the extra point. It hits the left upright, but ricochets through. The Bulldogs are now on the board.
Ricochets count, so we're glad they count.
And now we get, after a nice coverage on the kickoff, we put UAPB back, and we almost get that pick six.
Can you believe that? Boy, that's an opportunity for us to really blow this game out. But you know, sometimes you miss on opportunities like that. And that was Jalen Dorsey, number 10. And he had a couple of those yesterday. And so he's getting better and better as well.
Another nice job, nice throw by Ballard, and he's wearing out the left side of the Pine Bluff defense.
Yeah, and we're moving the ball down. We got stopped and couldn't convert a third down, went for a field goal, and it would have been good from 50, but it was just a little bit off target.
Good job, and here is Pine Bluff again trying to make something happen, but the Bulldog defense rises up.
Well, there's a really good job of taking the ball away from them. We get an opportunity now to set up a score for us, and that was just really exciting. David Dagrin, former captain, he should have scored on that.
Yeah, we wondered, but I guess he needed some help. 5 defenders escorting him to the end zone, turn around and hit somebody.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we got our field goal blocked right there, or else, you know, we're going to put points on the board there. And that's what you want to do. You want your defense to take the ball away, and then you want your offense then to convert those takeaways into points for you. And that's how you turn the game around quickly.
9-7 is the score at the half. Coach, you're going in. You said earlier that the offense was a little bit lethargic, even though you were moving the football.
Not lethargic by any stretch of the imagination. We were missing out on some opportunities because of some execution errors and maybe some missed opportunities because of, you know, maybe one guy was out of place or something like that. We just needed to execute better. We were giving great effort. We just needed to execute better, and that's what we talked to them about in the locker room at halftime.
Good job by the Bulldog offense in the first half. This is the 6th annual Lewis Cruz Classic presented by Homecoming 2015 on the Hill. James Spady gets his first victory as a Bulldog head football coach at home. When we come back on Between the Lines with James Spady, we'll have a look at the second half highlights and further homecoming activities.
The mission of the Union Chapel Christian Academy is to provide a Christ-centered foundation in academic excellence while integrating academic disciplines with God's Word. Our educators and instill leadership strive to teach the fundamentals of reading, math, science, and technology. If you want to be a part of our Christ-centered foundation at Union Chapel Christian Academy, please contact us today, 256-489-4728.
The A&M Bulldogs know how to build a winning team. That's why they choose Huntsville Hospital Sports Center as their sports medicine provider. Our athletic trainers are on the sidelines with the A&M athletes, helping them stay injury-free. But when a player gets hurt, we're there to help the athlete get healthy and get back to playing. Our partnerships with the Orthopedic Center and D1 Sports make Huntsville Hospital Sports Center the only complete sports medicine program in Alabama, because the Bulldogs only use the best. Huntsville Hospital Sports Center, your sports medicine provider.
Hello, I'm Pastor Troy.
And I'm Lady Kim.
At the Fellowship of Faith Church, we're building healthy marriages, healthy families through the Word of God. God loves family, and so do we at the Fellowship of Faith Church. We want to invite your family to come and worship with us every Sunday morning at 9:15 and 11:15 a.m. and every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. At the Fellowship of Faith Church, Jesus is exalted and the Word is explained.
Ariel took down enough pins to help win a conference championship. Her mechanics are just as strong in engineering. Aiden is mastering psychology on the golf course and in the classroom. No hurdles too high for Raven, on the track or in nutrition. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
90.9 WJAB FM Huntsville.
100,000 watts, 24 hours a day.
smooth jazz, and cool vocals.
Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you.
90.9 FM WJAB.
For the campus of Alabama A&M University.
I do not take the field alone. I take it with strength and speed. I take it on the shoulders of crews and stalwart. I take it with pride, with cheering fans and revered alumni. I do not take the field alone. I take it with you.
Bulldog season tickets now starting at only $135. Visit AAMUTix.com and take your part in A&M history.
Brandon lights up the court every game. Soon, he'll do it as an electrical engineer. Jordan specializes in logistics and supply chain management, on and off the field. Ashley's been schooling players at the net and student teaching in the classroom. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
Welcome back to Between the Lines with James Spady. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. Coach Spady, the Bulldogs show up in the second quarter and then carries over to the third quarter, 28 unanswered points. How did your offensive staff get that fixed for you?
Well, so I went in at halftime, and I knew that the problems weren't game plan problems; they were execution problems, and challenged the offensive staff to make sure you get a point where you can just talk to these guys about what they need to do specifically to execute better the second half. Because it wasn't anything that Pine Bluff was doing to us that was keeping us from converting, keeping us from scoring. It was stuff that we were doing to ourselves. And so challenged the offensive staff, Phil Dorn, Andy Fuller, Ashley Lally, and Willie Totten, and they did a great job of making the proper adjustments, putting our guys in position for success, and telling them exactly what they expect in the second half. We took the second half kickoff and we drove right down the field, which is exactly what you want, and we set the tempo for the second half, and I commend those coaches and those players for all that good work. That was really good work on their part.
Michael Burns and I remarked on the radio broadcast that it looked like the offense or the whole team just took it up another level.
That's exactly what they did. And I don't know what they said. I wasn't in the room when Phil, I don't know whether or not they gathered them together.
Wow.
But I can tell you that whatever they said, it really worked. And our football team had a totally renewed spirit in the second half, and both sides of the ball. But it led with the offense because we were the first ones to touch the ball in the second half, and it led with the offense. And boy, those guys, I'm just so proud of them. I don't know what to do. I can't talk enough about them.
Coach, when you get the ball first in the second half and you have an opportunity to score at the end of the first half, what does that have any effect on your momentum in the football game?
Well, that's the hopes. The hopes is that you change the momentum in your favor, and that's what we were able to do. I think we hit Jonathan Dorsey right down the middle of their defense with a little play action deal.
And you come back to Roderick Randolph, who fumbled in the first half, and you give him a chance to help the team in the second.
And that's what he did. He did exactly that. Here's a big play. Tootie saw, who is that? Devon Johnson. He saw Devon Johnson streaking down the field. And he could have run the ball for a first down, but he decided to throw it to Devon and pad his stats, I guess. I don't know what he was doing.
That must be his roommate. And now the Bulldogs driving again.
Yeah.
Tootie Ballard back in at quarterback, as I mentioned, 20 of 30 on the day. And here's another touchdown pass to Tevin McKenzie. And here's what the Mobile Tourist Association needs to send him a check for.
Well, I think he's working for the Chamber of Commerce for Mobile. He's representing the
Summer
Mobile.
internship, no check involved.
Very good.
And this is a fine job of getting him open, Coach, but you talk about window dressing on plays, but this is a different receiver running the same route we saw earlier in the game.
Yeah, very similar route, you're right. And Tevin does a great job. What you didn't see was he was bracket coverage there. He had a guy inside, guy over the top, and he ran right through the coverage, which is what opened him up.
Fine job by the Bulldog offense, going up 21-9.
I got to tell you, Ted, those are examples of better execution. These are the things that we didn't do in the first half that we're now doing in the second half. You saw right there Devon Johnson on the speed sweep play, and we got guys on the ground, and then a touchdown to O'Darius Williams. He and Coastal Lee right there. I'm not sure which one of them has the highest vertical right there. I'm going to vote for O'Darius right now.
I don't know, Coach Lee, about 40 years old. O'Darius ought to be ashamed him getting that close to him.
He got high.
On that last touchdown series, we saw Harvey Harris, who had 131 yards rushing on the day, being a lead blocker.
Harvey had a great day, but we're all called on to do some things that definitely put us in position for success. Harvey has to be a blocker at times, and he's going to expect other guys to block for him when he's got the ball in his hand. So you put that same amount of effort when it's time for you to block.
And now, of course, our secret weapon, Nick Carden, on the field to do punting, 41.3 average per punt and 1 of 54 yards.
He was a beast yesterday. Nick Carden is a really good football player, and I'm so glad he's on our team. And there's our is that our team captain right there with an interception?
Big Twin.
Big Twin.
He is called Brian Brower with the interception. We didn't call his name as much during the game on tackles, Coach, but it's fitting at the end of the game at homecoming, he closes it out with an interception.
And that's right. That's exactly the way I see it. It was a team effort on defense. You can look at guys who had great plays and guys who did things that were valuable to the winning effort. But as a team, if you'll gang tackle, if you'll work as a group, and everybody do their 1/11th, then you're going to have an opportunity to be successful. And that's the way they played yesterday. And, well, again, I can't say it enough. It's a credit to the defensive staff. It's a credit to the execution of the football team. Credit to the offensive staff for coming out the second half and getting those guys ready to play. And Brent Prady and our special teams group, I'm just happy that we were able to do all the things that we did yesterday.
Lots of kudos for the Bulldog coaching staff on social media. People were happy to meet you after the game, Coach, to share a meal with you. And, of course, your fraternity was happy to see you come by their tent as well.
Well, I was pleased to share those meals too, Ted. I really enjoyed the barbecue, but shout out to Phi Beta Sigma.
When we come back on Between the Lines with James Spady, we'll talk about the Bulldogs' upcoming opponent. That's this Saturday at Coastal Carolina, the #1 team in the football championship subdivision.
The A&M Bulldogs know how to build a winning team. That's why they choose Huntsville Hospital Sports Center as their sports medicine provider. Our athletic trainers are on the sidelines with the A&M athletes, helping them stay injury-free. But when a player gets hurt, we're there to help the athlete get healthy and get back to playing. Our partnerships with the Orthopedic Center and D1 Sports make Huntsville Hospital Sports Center the only complete sports medicine program in Alabama, because the Bulldogs only use the best. Huntsville Hospital Sports Center, your sports medicine provider.
Hello, I am Pastor Troy. There are a lot of people hurting emotionally, hurting physically, hurting financially, family hurting spiritually, and there is no hurt like church hurt. If you are hurting, I got a prescription for you. Psalm 147:3 says, He healeth the broken in heart and binds up their wounds. If you are hurting, come to the Fellowship of Faith Church and experience the healing of Jesus.
I do not take the field alone. I take it with strength and speed. I take it on the shoulders of crews and Stallworth. I take it with pride, with cheering fans and revered alumni. I do not take the field alone. I take it with you.
Bulldog season tickets now starting at only $135. Visit AAMUTix.com and take your part in A&M history.
The mission of the Union Chapel Christian Academy is to provide a Christ-centered foundation in academic excellence while integrating academic disciplines with God's Word. Our educators instill leadership, strive to teach the fundamentals of reading, math, science, and technology. If you want to be a part of our Christ-centered foundation at Union Chapel Christian Academy, please contact us today, 256-489-4728.
Ariel took down enough pens to help win a conference championship. Her mechanics are just as strong in engineering. Aiden is mastering psychology on the golf course and in the classroom. No hurdles too high for Raven, on the track or in nutrition. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
28.
90.9 WJAB FM Huntsville.
100,000 watts, 24 hours a day.
Smooth jazz and cool vocals.
I'm just a prisoner of love.
I get misty just holding your hand.
90.9 WJAB.
From the campus of Alabama A&M University.
Brandon lights up the court every game. Soon, he'll do it as an electrical engineer. Jordan specializes in logistics and supply chain management, on and off the field. Ashley's been schooling players at the net and student teaching in the classroom. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
Welcome back to Between the Lines with James Spady. I'm your host, Ted Dixie. The Bulldogs come up victorious on homecoming, the 6th annual Lewis Cruise Classic. Coach, that has to be a special moment for you getting to host a trophy after a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big trophy. It's a good-looking trophy, and I was really excited to hand it over to our players. We gave it to them and let them celebrate, and that's what you do. Winning's not easy. If it was, everybody would do it.
That's right.
And so I told those guys, you got to celebrate victories. If you get a chance to celebrate a win, go right ahead and do it. And so that's what we did yesterday.
That's why we don't have the trophy here on the set. The student athletes have it somewhere. The offensive player of the game, Tevin McKenzie, 3 touchdowns on the day, 1 rushing, 2 receiving. Fine performance from one of your Bulldog captains.
Yeah, and it's the stuff that you don't see that makes it such a valuable performance. The blocking and he does so many other things, and so we're really happy for Tevin McKenzie. And special mention needs to go to Harvey Harris.
Oh, no doubt.
Didn't he have 130 something?
131 yards rushing, and he looked like he was shot out of the cannon every time he touched the football.
So we're proud of Tevin McKenzie. We're proud of Harvey Harris.
The defensive player of the game, and I should say players, it will be the entire Bulldog defense.
Yeah, and they deserve it. They've been maligned, to this point. And then now here's an opportunity for them to step out of the shadows, and they dominated that game. The only touchdown they gave up was one that was set up by a turnover by us on offense. And I think they did a fantastic job. The coaches did a great job of putting them in position, great execution by our defense.
And the special team players of the game, of course, Nick Carton with a 41.3 yard average at punter. And then Antonio Carey was our big thumper. He really set the tone on special teams coverage.
As proud as I am of Nick Carton for doing a great job of punting, I'm just as proud of Antonio Carey. He was a real force to be reckoned with on our punt coverage.
And of course, Coach, you have one more special mention for the day.
The most valuable player of the entire day. Yesterday was my son Mason's 12th birthday, and he was the most valuable player of yesterday. And so I wanted to wish him a happy birthday, buddy, from Daddy and Mama. We love you. He's 12 now, Ted. He looks like he's about 16.
I was about to say, Mason, this is your last year not being a teenager, man. Make the most of it.
Happy birthday, Mason.
Next time the Bulldogs take the field, we'll be at Coastal Carolina. That is this Saturday. Kickoff is 5 p.m. Central Time. That means the pregame show may be heard on 90.9 FM, WJAB, starting at 4:30 p.m. For Coach Spady, for our production staff, and every one of the Bulldog faithful, happy homecoming. The Bulldogs get a victory 28-9. We'll see you here next week. Good night.